What makes advanced conversational such a superpower of a therapeutic model is that it comes with a testing process that virtually guarantees it works. And this comes about when we're going through our conversation, through our questioning cycle, through our curiosity of what is really going on for our client. And by following the unconscious responses, the unconscious cues that show up in every conversation, but more valuably in this case, we are following those cues by analyzing that thinking and seeing where the path is leading us. And what I mean by that is that when we're doing our questioning, we will know that we're not going anywhere within the conversation. We're just circling around the same thing because there won't be any unconscious responses. Yet, if we are asking questions and we're getting unconscious responses, we're getting twitches, we're getting big deep breaths, we're getting hard swallows, we're getting dazed and confused, we're taking long blinks, we might even close our eyes, we might scratch our ear, all sorts. Then we know we're on the right track. And when we've gone through this process, the conversation hugely moves from one place all the way to another through that process. And we can, when we get to the, let's say, the end of the session where we have come to some point of resolve and the client's showing that resolve by a sense of calmness, a sense of complete detachment from their original problem that they've come to you from, or maybe not a complete disattachment, but a complete like on fire attachment to that outcome that they want to go for. They can go swing in either pendulum, either way on the pendulum. We're then going to go through a testing cycle. And so when we go through that testing cycle, we are ultimately testing the resources that the unconscious mind has given us. Now, let's say, for example, the client has come to us with a certain problem. Let's say it is sleep. And we've extracted a whole lot more quality information about how this lack of sleep or this poor quality sleep has come about. And at the point over here, the client was somewhat limited in their thinking capacity. Have you ever been looking for something or looking for a certain piece of information and sometime down the track gone, oh my God, that was so freaking obvious. How did I not see that? That is because obviously the way that we are perceiving the thing, and in this case, the problem, sleep being the problem. And so by the time we've moved through these, the curiosity, the conversation, the question cycles, and we've moved so far away from the actual problem, the client has then moved themselves in a completely different position, a position of power, where they can choose whether this is a problem that they want to improve or a problem that they just don't want to have anymore. And they're like, I don't really care about that problem, piss off. But at that point, they come up with resources. And let's say the resource for sleep is, I'm just going to go to bed early. Now, if you as a coach had said to the client, have you considered going to bed earlier? There's a natural resistance that's going to show up there because of the unconscious programs that are backed up behind all of that accumulating factors that got them to the point that they are right now. It's going to hit a wall of resistance, even though it's the most obvious solution for your client. It's not going to be received by them because of those unconscious protection programs that have been set up along the way. And so by the time we have unraveled all of that mess, we've got to the point where the client can then reveal to themselves their resources. I'm just going to go to bed earlier. And you can sit back and go, I didn't even tell you what to do. You created that. You came up with that solution. And what is even better than you coaching them is when the client comes up with their own solution. Because when we come up with our own solution, there's a little part of us that goes, yeah, I've got this. I'm awesome. I know what I'm doing. I've got this. And it'll go for it and apply those resources. And so getting back to the testing part of this, say, for example, the client has come up with that resource of, I'm just going to go to bed earlier. And And then you're going to challenge that resource with every length of possibilities that you can come up with. So in this case, let's say, for example, the client originally came with a problem of sleep because they were staying up all night watching Netflix or playing on the PlayStation. We're going to say to the client, so what if there's like a really awesome series that you're watching and it's just like really grabbed you by the heart and you just can't put it down? Why don't you just stay up? They're going to say, when you're testing the cycle, you're going to know whether what they have created within that resource is staying strong, because they are going to say something similar like, oh no, I won't even bother starting the next episode because I know that if I start the next episode, I'll be staying up for another hour and another hour. I'm just going to turn it off at 9 o'clock and then go through a wind down process and be ready to go to sleep at 9:30. Sounds simple, right? But within that answer and that testing cycle, if they come up with, oh, I could turn it off, but, and then come up with some other excuse, anything along the lines of but, or just anything that's doubting their response is another knot, if you will, that we need to investigate. So then we're going to go through that questioning cycle, that curiosity cycle again, to clear that out of the way. And once that has been resolved, we're then going to go back to the testing cycle and come up with a new scenario to challenge the client with that resource that they have presented. And we usually want to apply like 3 testing scenarios. One that is like quite usual for the client, one that's a little bit out of range for the client to consider, and then one like a really crazy one, like what if aliens invaded you? Would you still go to bed at 9 o'clock? And they'd be like, by then they've had enough of you. They want to get on with going to bed at their right time. Usually they're going to say, yes, I'm going to go to bed. Now, would you leave me alone? And from the facilitator's point of view, what greater success is that the client is telling you they don't need you anymore, they have got it sorted, and away they go into the great wide world, utilizing those resources to benefit them. So this is what guarantees the outcome for your clients utilizing advanced conversational hypnosis.